Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I just want to give you guys kind of, my take on this whole Orrin and Orson case. I am a little late to this. I actually just found out about this case literally about 4 to 5 days ago, and I've been glued to it ever since. Um, Apparently, allegedly, they went missing from a home in California City on this December 21st. So this has been going on since that time out as far as the news and stuff, and I knew nothing about it. So if there are things that I say, because I'm late, I'm sorry. You probably already heard some of this, but I just want to give my basically how I feel about the situation, basically the things that I found wrong. I will say that I just finished watching the live stream from Bakersfield Streets Media. They did another search. They did go back to the Bakersfield home, and as you can see, I'm getting all of those notifications. Um, but I was watching the live. They did go back to the Bakersfield home today. This home is where they actually lived prior to moving to California City. They said this was the address that they used on the adoption paperwork. This is the Castellama Apartments in Bakersfield on Lotus Lane. Um, I did get, a couple of clips and stuff of them out there, but regardless, they found nothing. They was out there for probably over 2 hours searching for clues, evidence, and the boys. And they searched across the street, this field here, which it's blurry on here, but whatever. But they did search across the street, and they didn't find anything. But yeah, they did search. This is them out at the search. Just a few clips that I screen recorded, which I did get permission from Bakersfield Street Media to post. As long as I, send them the information and give them credit. So thank you guys so much for that. But yeah, this is them at the beginning, and they found nothing. They searched the field across the street, and then beside the home was this canal. um they found nothing there, and then they went down the street, and there's like all this land, just open land, kind of like, I don't really know what it was, but it was kind of like a dump, like let's see if I can show you. So these are some people just out, searching the fields. This is in the beginning. They're lining up, you know they're going out to search, and they did a good job. This here is some footage of the canal. They didn't find anything. You can't really see the canal, but they'll go through the gate. Um, and they didn't find anything at all. And then lastly, they had this area where it was just open field, kind of like a dump. I don't know if it was a dump place, but people just had all kind of stuff, like a landfill or something. They found some interesting things, but nothing that would probably really relate to the kids. They found like this cross and stuff, but they didn't really find much. But that's that. So here's another day, another search, and they did not find the children. And to me, it's just heartbreaking. Now, I will say one thing that I found out this morning. I already uploaded the video, but this morning, I got up and I got on Facebook, and I seen where they were saying in Tijuana they found two small bodies that were burned side by side. One for sure they knew was a boy, but the other body they wasn't sure. And the faces of the two children were burned beyond recognition. They couldn't really see, and also that the children were small enough where they were not teenagers. So that has everybody on edge. They actually did bring that up in during the live stream while looking for the boys. Someone brought that to their attention, and they were actually unaware, so they hadn't even heard about it. But if you didn't see that video, it's on my page. But yeah, I have a feeling that may be the boys. They've searched 2 different cities, California City, Bakersfield, in the areas that the boys were known to be, and they did not find them. And it's just so weird to me, like how they just vanished out of nowhere. And to then see that last night, I believe, they found those 2 bodies burned. That is just very scary. So I know people have hope, but the way it's looking to me personally, it just does not look good. But I'm gonna kind of go over the story to anyone who may have not heard about it. But there's 2 brothers, Orson and Orrin, who their real names are Classic and Sincere. They were adopted by a family, and their names were changed. They were 3 and 4. And apparently, according to the story that the adoptive parents gave, it was around the evening time when it got really cold, or they were cold. The family was cold. It was just the mom, the dad, and those 2 children. They have 6 children total, 2 biological children, 4 adoptive, and the other 4 children were on vacation with the grandparents. So while home, they were saying it was cold and they wanted to make a fire. I guess like in the fireplace or something. I don't know. And the dad went next to the house. There was a field with a lot of wood. By wood, he means sticks. Literally picking up sticks off the ground. He left the gate open, throwing sticks across the gate to make the fire. While he was doing that, the mother was wrapping gifts and she didn't want the children to see them. So they both, I guess, decided that it was okay for the children to play on the patio in the backyard with chalk. And so they sent them outside to play. The biological dad goes in the house. He said the children were there. And then he comes outside and then they're no longer in the yard. He searches the neighborhood. They're not in the neighborhood. The police search. They haven't been found. And since that day, apparently they claim that's the last day that they were ever seen again. And like I said, they did a search yesterday of the neighborhood again in the fields in the desert nearby. Didn't find anything. They did find a bag, a Christmas bag with Orson's name on it, which is believed to have come from the home that maybe the community put there, that got there somehow, and a knife and some stuff. And then they did a search today and they didn't find anything at all. And so to me, one thing I don't like is the fact that they sent the children outside, and nobody was watching them. And I understand, like, the adopted mother, she was in the house, but she was wrapping gifts. Maybe she thought that the father was going to be watching them because he was outside, but he was outside getting firewood. And then he went back in the house. And I don't know how long it was before he went back outside, but apparently, it had to be a little while for them to get missing out of the neighborhood that fast. On top of that, I watched some drone footage of the home. They had some drone footage of like the outside and stuff. I didn't really see, for them to have 6 kids, no toys, no bikes, no basketball goal, nothing. I didn't see any toys or anything outside. So that was just weird to me. That's really not relevant as far as them going missing, but I just felt it was weird for you to have 6 children. And I didn't see anything screaming, I have 6 kids here from the outside. What was weird to me is the description of the kids. So they, they're 3 and 4. They said both boys weighed the same, 35 to 40 or 30 to 35 pounds. They both were 3 feet. And they both were wearing the same exact thing. I think it was like a gray hoodie or black pants, or black hoodie and gray sweatpants or something. But it was just weird. And even the mother in her post, the biological mother, she was talking about, the sizes that the adoptive mother claimed that they were. In the screenshot that I had posted in one of my videos this morning, the biological mother was commenting to someone saying that there was only one gift under the tree for each of her children. and it was the same thing. It was an outfit that was actually the same size. And she the way she said it, she was just like, it was one each the same size. And I kind of feel like maybe the kids really weren't the same size. Like, I don't know, it's weird because one, they're like at least a year apart, or 9 months to a year apart, and there is the exact weight, the exact height, like, I don't know, just something about that was weird to me. um Maybe it's just me, but it's also weird. They only had one gift. I know they have 6 children, and I know COVID-19, the pandemic, has hurt people financially. So maybe one gift is all that they could do for their kids. But I don't know. Clothes that's the same size. I don't know. But the whole thing is it's just strange to me that they just went missing like that. You go in a house and you come back, and they went missing. Another thing that I found super, super, super weird is how the dad is trying to create a story is as if he already knows what happened. So, mind you, if you just think about it, imagine you go in a house, you're not watching your kids. You come outside, you don't know where they are. Therefore, if you don't know where they are, you don't know what happened to them. And in the interview, he was saying one thing. He said, he was like, they're here in this area. You know what I'm saying? They're here in this area somewhere. They're here. And my thing is, if you don't know where they are, how can you say that they're there? If you know where they are, then go get them, you know? So it's like he was trying to create a story as if he already knew what happened. Then on top of that, he was saying, um, the kids knew not to go on the dirt. They knew to stay on the patio. And so in my head, he's painting the picture as if the kids walked out of they left. It's their fault. Like, they left the patio, they walked out of the gate. If you were not watching your children, you don't know if someone snatched them up. You know what I'm saying? All you know is you went in the house and you come outside and your kids are gone. So how can you paint a story that your kids left the patio willingly and that they were in the area if you don't know what happened to your kids? You see what I'm saying? He was painting a story of what happened to his kids when in reality, if he really wasn't watching those kids, he don't know what happened to them or where they are. So I didn't like that, because if it was me and my kid went missing, anything, everybody at that point is suspect. It's two of them. One could be one place. Why can't I find at least one, both of them? Maybe somebody did go in that backyard and get the kids. So the fact that he got on camera and say, oh, they knew, basically like they knew better. They knew not to leave the patio. They knew not to go on the dirt. And he didn't say they walked off, but it was like he's saying they left. They left. But he don't know that because he wasn't watching them. And to say that they're in the area, at the end of the day, if they were my kids and I don't know where they are, I'm not going to sit there and tell the public they're in the area. No, search everywhere, because I need to find my kids. So it's like, at the end of the day, they've been searching that area since they've been missing and they haven't turned up. So apparently they're not in that area. So I felt like that was really weird and suspicious to me, how he could just paint a story of specifically what happened to his kids, that they left on their own because they left the dirt and they're in the area, when he wasn't watching them to know where they went or if they left on their own. So maybe he's painting a picture that he wants us to think, but there's no way you can sit here and give us a story of kind of what happened and where the boys are when you don't know where they are. So I don't like that. And yes, I know everybody's talking about the demeanor that he had as far as like being, his hands were in his armpits and being very defensive. I really don't know. It was just weird altogether. But nonetheless, the kids have not been found. They are saying that there's footage of the kids being put in the van by their father, but never returning home. I personally have not seen any footage. If they have it, I wish they would put it out. But again, I'm sure police have it, but it hasn't been publicized, so I can't really say to go off of that. But it's like they're not saying that there's footage of the kids leaving the yard. The only footage they have that they say they have is that the kids left with the dad. So that's also suspicious, because how can you say that they left or that they're in that area unless you know that they're in the area? You know what I'm saying? You don't know where they are. So I feel like him saying that will limit, the search for the kids, because he may want people to only look in that neighborhood and not out. But no, if they're my kids, you need to look out. You need to find my kids. Look everywhere. Don't just look in my neighborhood. But that's what on the news he's like, yeah, they're right here somewhere. They're in this area. Unless you actually know that, you need to tell us where they are then. But that's basically the case. And they haven't found anything new today. Um, it's not confirmed, obviously, if those boys in Mexico that they found were Orrin and Orson. It's just a coincidence that it happened around the same time. It happened to be small children, specifically in that article. Small children or small bodies found charred, and one being a boy. Um, 3.5 hours straight shot from California City. It's very, very likely. It's very likely, especially with them not being found anywhere else right now, including the area that the dad claimed they, should be in. So that's basically kind of a quick synopsis, but just kind of my opinion on, or some of the things that I kind of found wrong in the story, some of the things that that stood out to me. I haven't heard much at all from the parents. Actually, the interview that was done, that first interview was like the last interview the parents done, and I don't think they've been to any of the searches. He did say that their phones, their electronics were confiscated by the police. So even that alone to me is really suspicious, because why are the police confiscating your electronics and your phone? Um, I don't know if that's something mandatory that police do when your kids go missing. They just take the parent's phone, unless they just feel that there may be a possibility that they have something to do with it. But that's also strange to me. Um, I think they're hiding away in a hotel. I did see that the home did have a board at one of the windows. I was like, why is one of the windows boarded up? And then I found out that somebody vandalized the home. Um, and I think they were instructed to not search with everyone else. So I think they're just trying to keep the peace. The police are trying to keep the peace because there's so much fuel between the biological family and the adoptive family and the community. Because honestly, the community is against the adoptive parents. So imagine if the adoptive parents were at the search, you have the community and the biological family there. They were already arguing on camera at the interview. I think it'd just be too much. So they want to just keep the adoptive parents away and safe, because they already busting windows out of their house. They're fussing at them. I don't know who busted the windows, but people are busting their windows out. The family is, having heated arguments. So I think they're just being told to stay away for their own protection, because I really feel like with the way people feel, if they were in the community's reach, somebody would really get them. So I think it's just best for them to stay away, because nobody, well, I wouldn't say 100% of people, but 90% of people are really against the dad and that mom. Nobody really believes them. Someone in my comments, this has not been, I never confirmed this, but in one of my videos, someone was saying that the adoptive mom is from Mexico. Honestly, I don't know if that's true, but if that is true, you know, the kids being in those children that they found burnt being in Mexico, I don't know, like, it's just, things just don't look good. When you find out something, when you hear something, it's something that's not good. So I don't really have a good feeling about this, even though I really want those kids to come home. Um, but yeah, shout out again to Bakersfield Streets Media. This is their footage, and I wish that we would have better news today, but we don't. Basically, have absolutely nothing today from the searches, and just in general. No one's come up to say, "Hey, we found the boys." So, if you guys want to just keep the conversation going in the comments, that would be great, so that we could just stay updated if you guys find out anything. But what do you guys think? Because there's so much speculation. In my heart, I do kind of feel like, now that I learned about the two children in Mexico, I feel like that may be them. In my heart, I feel like that may be them. I do. And with them saying, even though it wasn't publicized, that the children went to the van with their father and never came back, I have a feeling that it might have been him. It might be. So what do you guys think? Do you think that the parents are innocent? Do you think the parents are guilty? Do you think it was the father? Are the kids alive? Are they in the neighborhood? Like, what do you think? Because there's so much to think, and I think a lot of people are just all over the place because there's so many possibilities. Thank you guys so much for watching. Obviously, as soon as I get an update, I will be on it and uploading. But this is all I have. I really did. I was on standby, just waiting to give you guys like a really good update of something they might have found. But they searched and searched today. They did a good job, and nothing at all. Honestly, it was like clean of evidence, nothing. Obviously a lot of trash in the field, but nothing, related to those boys. So that's kind of a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing we didn't find them, like out there in the ground. So there's still hope, but at the same time, we didn't find them, so they're not home. So yeah, like I said, just let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching, and you guys have a great night.